Good morning and happy Friday. Today is March 5th, and we are coming up on a year since my last official concert. So I figured today's story would be nice to maybe chat a little bit about concert photography, which is the other side of my life. I live a double life, and that's my moonlighting job. And it's been a year since I have officially photographed a show. So I thought it might be fun to talk a little bit about that. So this time last year, it was this weekend. It was like March 7th, 8th. And Jordan reached out for IMP to photograph a show at Lincoln Theater. And I wasn't scheduled to shoot that show. But, Sean and I were chatting. I was like, why not? I always try to help out IMP when I can. And I didn't have anything going on that weekend, so I went ahead and shot the show. And it was David LeMace and myself, Bob Boylan, and which was nice because I was able to see these guys before the world shut down. We had a little chat just about things that were going on at the time, and we photographed the show. It was a little bit of a difficult shoot. We couldn't get really close to the stage. But it was still fun nonetheless. And I went home, and little did I realize that would be the last show that I would photograph. Over the course of COVID, I've seen a lot of live streams and did my best to, just help out my musician friends. I run the blog, These Subtle Sounds. So, when things first started to shut down, I was used to going 60 miles an hour, like high gear, high speed, shooting shows, reviewing shows, posting photos, and then all of that stopped. So it was, a few of us who work, who manage the blog, we tried to continue that a little. Like we would review some live streams, and that was fine, but it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. It was like trying to take something we were used to and make it into something that was new without really changing anything. So there was that, like, almost like it was like a copy of something, but it wasn't quite right. And it just didn't sit well with a lot of us. So we sort of just kind of started to take the time off, which I think was needed. I know it was needed for me. I was starting to shut down. I was getting kind of depressed. Live streams were great, but they made me even miss live shows even more. So it was a little hard. So I just did a lot of like quiet time, which was nice. I think we all did. All the contributors to the blog just sort of took their own times themselves. So I did go to a couple shows over COVID. I actually went to two. I went to two drive-in concerts. My first one was Front Bottoms because, I love the Front Bottoms. And I felt like it was not too bad of a deal to go check them out in a parking lot in the middle of summer. It was July. But I was really disappointed, especially their concerts, because if you've ever been to a Front Bottoms concert, that's packed and the energy is high and people are just singing and dancing and crowd surfing, and it's a lot of energy at their shows. And this one just lacked the energy. It just lacked the energy. So I was very disappointed. I almost didn't go to the second one. The second one was Grace Potter. Grace Potter was performing with Chris Jacobs, who is a local musician, and I love seeing him perform. So it was Frederick, and it was at the fairgrounds, and I thought, okay, we'll try it again. Grace Potter never disappoints. Chris Jacob never disappoints. They were both doing acoustic-y type sets, no band, just them. And I thought that might be a nice way to see an outdoor drive-in concert, unlike Front Bottoms, who would be like more like a rock concert. So it wasn't that, it was hard to portray that in a drive-in. So anyway, Grace Potter was amazing. That was an incredibly awesome show. That we went with Matthew and Jessica and just sat outside in a chair by our cars, and it was quiet and it was peaceful and it was great. It was great. Sound was great. Everything was great. Matt and I took some photos of that show unofficially, and that was very therapeutic. but that has been it. So a few of my like local musicians have been performing at various places, but nothing close by. So, a little bit of a drive. And most of the shows are indoors, and I'm just not quite ready yet to see a concert inside. I really have not been in the company of more than a handful of people at any given time in the last year. So I'm not quite ready to sit in a crowded room quite yet and see a show, especially an hour away. So I'm kind of still waiting for that moment that I feel right. I almost feel like I'm not going to feel right about going to a show until it's something like at the Bar and it's, 300 people and it's packed. Like I feel like I'm not going to it's not going to sit well with me until it's back to normal, and maybe it's okay for me to wait for that. Like I feel like I don't want to try to force something into something that I don't feel comfortable doing. I'm rambling. So anyway, that has been my year without concerts. It's been a little rough, but we've been listening to a lot of music, which is nice. And Jordan has kicked off his quarantine tunes. It's like a little Facebook group where we've met and talked a little bit about music, and that's been really fun. I just spend so much time on the computer talking with people because of my job. So my teaching, I'm on the computer literally 4 to 5 hours a day talking, and I just get exhausted. I'm almost like it's Zoom fatigue, and it is a real thing. So I find sometimes that I just want to be by myself, which is weird because I'm not a by myself kind of person. But I find that it's just nice for me to after I've done work, and on the weekends, I try to stay off my computer. I have been, trying to really kind of lay low on Facebook too, social media, as much as I really enjoy it. I just have been taking some good mental breaks. We're about to get back into school, and that starts March 22nd for me. Officially, and then April 6th for the students. So it'll be a pretty bit of my life is about to do another 180. So it's going to be picking up here in a little while. I'm hoping that the summer will bring some maybe live outdoor type events. I would love for Hot August to be able to get it off the ground. I know that's late August. So fingers crossed, maybe by then there's a way we can manage a limited capacity outdoor festival with some really good musicians, and local and national. Would be so awesome to do that. I have my fingers crossed. I'm hoping for September, because Merriweather New Order is playing at Merriweather. That was supposed to be for my birthday last year, and I had really good seats for that. And I'm hoping that they don't end up canceling that show or postponing it. I think I have a feeling that it's probably going to be, but still I'm holding out faith and hope that I'll be able to catch that show. I think that was really the only show that ended up getting, on my list that I had tickets for that I really wanted to see. Rage Against the Machine, yes, they were playing as well, but I'll be honest, I'm fine with seeing them, but I love them in the 90s, and I didn't see them in the 90s, and I feel like I missed my chance. So I'm New Order is just so great live even now. So I know their show would be just fantastic. So that's it. I think that's all I was going to chat about. I would like to kind of go into a little bit more about my shows, especially my photographic experiences. I have tons of great stories revolving around my photo pit life, and taking photos and traveling with NPR, and there's lots of really good stuff. So, maybe I'll pick one Friday a month where I just sort of chat a little bit about a concert that I photographed or attended that was pretty memorable. So anyway, happy 1 year anniversary from officially photographing shows. I know my photographer friends out there, I've been seeing your post on Facebook. We're all hitting that 1 year mark. So here's to hopefully later 2021 and definitely 2022. It's got to get back. All right. Well, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. The weather looks fantastic, and I will be chatting with you next Friday.